Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Cortensia Carty.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of GMSKN. Today we proceed now to the latest in local news list from SKNS. Over the past several weeks, several children and adults have been diagnosed with and treated for gastroenteritis, or GE, in St. Kitts and Nevis. Gastroenteritis, is a medical condition marked by irritation or inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract, in particular the stomach and small intestines. This condition can affect anyone, be it a child or adult. GE is typically caused by a germ or pathogen. The most common cause is a virus, but it can also be triggered by bacteria. Signs and symptoms of GE include sudden onset of diarrhea, abdominal pain, vomiting, nausea, and fever. Dehydration can also result, which is marked by increased thirst, dry mouth, weakness, sluggishness, dizziness, inability to sweat, and sometimes fainting. Children who are affected by GE can become dehydrated quickly. Parents are advised to monitor affected children very closely and seek medical care urgently.
Wow, we gotta be careful again. We continue now. This from SKN Vibes. The Sandy Point Benevolent Society, the SPBS, has activated plans for the return of its annual breakfast bash. In a recent flyer drop, the nonprofit organization based in New York has shared the details of the event for Saturday, April 8, 2023. This event is considered one of its major fundraisers, which finances its scholarships and other social outreach activities that benefit young people in St. Kitts and Nevis. President Stuart Williams confirmed that this is the Society's first breakfast fundraiser since COVID. He shared, and quote, "We are excited to host our breakfast fundraiser under an unavoidable absence of a few years. Although our main intention is to raise funds for our activities, we also look forward to the interaction with our supporters who come out in their numbers each year," end quote. Included on the menu for the event is saltfish and johnny cakes and other culinary delights of the islands. Much of the menu items are also prepared by well-wishers of the organization as their way of giving back to their land of birth. Great gesture.
And from SKNIS, seniors in 3 communities across St. Kitts will be busy on select days each week following the launch of a pilot initiative by the government on Monday, March 20th, 2023. The Seniors Day program officially began following a ceremony at the Newtown Community Center. The program will be piloted in East Bastyr, St. Peter's, and St. Paul's on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, respectively. During the 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. scheduled hours, the participants will engage in various fun and educational activities. Discussions on topics such as proper foot care for diabetics, healthy eating, financial management, and disaster preparedness will be held. However, this month's core activity is kite making. This is in preparation for a kite flying festival that the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Aging, and Disabilities intends to introduce during the Easter holidays.
Now for the weather forecast. It is partly cloudy with a high of 81 degrees and a low of 73 degrees Fahrenheit. We will be back with regional and international news after this short break.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, Embrace the freedom.
Thank you for joining us this morning on Good Morning SKN as we continue with regional news. This from Antigua Newsroom. These kids are so talented, they are truly winners. This sentiment was echoed by spectators throughout the JCI Antigua Recycle and Create competition held at the Multipurpose Center on Friday, the 17th March 2023. The Recycle and Create competition was started in 2022 by the JCI Antigua Environmental Awareness Program, the EAP, and has continued this year on a larger scale. The primary school competition seeks to encourage school-age children to be environmentally aware through research and creativity. According to the EAP chairman, PVP Byron Christopher, JCI Antigua realized that there was a need to get the youth of Antigua and Barbuda involved in environmental awareness and to find ways to appreciate our natural resources and find new and creative ways to conserve them. This has now become a flagship project for the committee and by extension the entire organization. The support from the schools and the general public has truly been phenomenal.
And on the international scene, China's best new outdoor attractions. This from CNN. When it comes to tourist attractions, a lot has happened in China over the last few years. From cruises along the world's longest canal to a post-earthquake fairyland, various outdoor attractions have opened or undergone dramatic makeovers, giving travelers more reasons than ever to visit China. Now that the country has announced it's reopening its borders to foreign travelers and resumed issuing tourist visas, international visitors can finally check out some of these popular new offerings that have been winning the hearts of domestic travelers during the pandemic. Some of these include the Grand Canal, the world's longest human-made river, Universal Beijing Resort, and Ningjia's Desert Star Hotel. Well, there you have it for the latest for today. We'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Yo, what up? It's your boy N Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Over the years, we have seen many technological inventions that have taken the world by storm. From the rise of the iPhone, digital currency, to self-driving cars. In this segment of Tech Talk, we will be covering some inventions that may not have hit the airways, but deserve recognitions for being both innovative and somewhat odd. So let us know in the comments your thoughts on them. Trying to slug bot? Never heard of the slug bot.
That's a no from me.
This artificial intelligence crawls over soil looking for slugs. When it spots one, it picks up the invader and stores it. Bacteria inside the slug bot digest the slugs, which would then be used as an organic powder source for the machine.
Right, that's a really cool invention.
Wow.
It fuels itself.
Yeah.
Plus, it does something that I think that a lot of us wouldn't want to do.
Feed ourselves.
If you think that, sure.
I'm looking at this and I'm wondering, is this how it sees the slug? Infrared? Because you know, most times when they show us animals seeing us or any other thing, it's normally in infrared. Oh, so it eats it, turns it into powder, and fuels itself. Whoa. All right. Never heard of the slug butt, learned of the slug butt today, so now I know what the slug butt is.
Milk clothing.
Yeah, never heard of this.
In 2011, a fabric was unveiled, which was made from a protein found in milk. The dried milk powder was heated until it became yard strands. One dress used about 6 liters of milk. Okay, that's actually not that much. This is interesting. So are you guys wearing any milk clothing?
So when we see something says put.
That's great. Powered by milk.
Wow.
That's great. All right.
Okay. Never knew. Every day is a learning process.
I'm wondering if they could take, let's say, milk that has passed its expiration date and create clothing from it. Because if they could do that, that'd be great. You wouldn't waste it.
Yeah, save milk, right?
At least not
Don't
that
waste
protein
it.
in it.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm just curious, and I'm not going to ask any more questions because my name is not Curious George today. I'll just give you what the information is.
He just gave you an idea, guys. Never know. Try it out and see. You never know. The inventors might be watching. Be like, that's probably his idea.
Do you want to bet on that? That the inventors are watching us on GMS Game?
Yeah, they are. I'm going to bet on it.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
well, you lose.
Come on, come on. The selfie toaster. Oh, so you just put in the bread and it toasts it for you? I hope that's what it does. I've never heard of the selfie toaster. Heard of the selfie stick. I'm taking a selfie. Never the toaster. So this toaster from the Vermont Novelty Toaster Corporation, released in 2014, is customized using a photo of your face, wow, that guides a special metal plate. The result is perfectly crisp toast that you can use to butter yourself up. Use to butter yourself up. So I guess you would have put in what you like in your toast. It takes your picture, so every time you put in your bread, it knows how to do your toast.
Well, I think that it gives you a toast to your face. That's exactly what I was thinking.
What?
Based on reading that, it's a selfie toaster, so your image comes up. Takes a photo and imprints it on the bread.
And there's me thinking it is going to do your bread the way you want your bread to be done. Okay, wow. Never thought of that.
It's like, why would anybody think of that? Hey, I really don't know.
Hey, make your mornings brighter.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't buy a selfie toaster. It just defeats the purpose. There's selfies, there's toasters, and there are toasters, and the two really...
No.
Yeah, how many of these? I said I was going to ask him a question. Yeah, never mind.
Ask the question.
No.
Come on, if you don't ask the
I don't
question,
get the
you won't
answer,
get the
so I'm not going to ask the question.
You never know, the answers might pop up in
The answer
in
is
the comments.
no, Cortez. The probability of that is
Where is
nil.
the hope? Where is the faith?
Not in these things.
Oh, the ostrich pillow. So this means ostrich feathers? So funded with $130,000 on Kickstarter. In 2012, the ostrich pillow allows the wearer to escape the world by sticking their head into a fluffy hole. Okay. So, US... Wow. Okay.
Oh, you've gone quiet. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure this out. Almost look like a diving helmet. Just the part of you breathe. I don't know. It's weird, but I guess it worked.
For whom? The ostrich?
The guy.
I don't get it. Everybody's craving to be like, everybody wants to be like ostriches then?
The ostriches do stick their heads in holes, right?
Yeah, you could do that without a pillow. Not even.
Get your head out of where? You ever watch the Funny Babies?
Yeah, Baby
there
Mop.
go the baby mop.
Baby Mop. All right. When your little one is exploring the world on all fours, why not have them do a little cleaning at the same time? Because it's called child labor? I don't know. This onesie has soft mop heads for scrubbing action. All right.
Why are we teaching the baby to mop already or do work already?
I said I wasn't going to ask any questions. I'm not going to get the answers, so I'm not going to ask.
Child labor.
I'm going to give you the info.
Said child labor.
I'm going to give you the info. Yeah, that looks really cool, dude. You don't know what you're doing. It's called exploitation.
Imagine the baby's
keep smiling.
The baby's gonna sit up and he's gonna be pulling at the yellow stuff because he's gonna think they're so cute, not knowing he's picking up all the dirt on the floor.
Who thought that this was a good idea to bring the baby in such close proximity with all of those bad things on the floor?
Well, as they say.
This is great, right? Baby's gonna be dirty, but hey, floor's clean. Incredible idea. Awesome.
And then the baby's immune to most germs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Really?
Yes, I'm just saying, I don't know. Yeah.
Whatever, this is crazy.
I don't know.
All right, the dog brella. Let's get the dog brella.
Is this the dog is gonna be...
All right, so to avoid a damp dog, lazy pet, or is this lazy pet, created this umbrella that mounts to a dog's collar and keeps them dry for walks. Because dogs should never be wet. That's amazing. I love it. I love the color.
Yeah, because when they're wet, they smell, so that's a good thing. But then I want to see what the umbrella looks like because it has to be built in a certain way to cover the dog's entire body, including its tail. Oh. Like I saw something funny on Facebook just recently. Like when you leave your clothes outside and the rain's gonna come, you know the plastics you normally put over your table? You put those over your clothes so your clothes are not getting wet. The water's just falling down.
Ooh.
Yeah, so maybe the dog umbrella.
Or you could just buy your dog a raincoat. Just saying.
Ooh,
yeah, because this is a good idea. To whom?
You see, and the dog's tail is out, so some parts of the dog is still getting wet.
Wow.
Yeah.
This
it needs to be built a little more longer, so maybe in a rectangle shape, so it comes out. And then it kind of have like a square thing so it drops so the water comes down. Yeah, I got a great idea. Or maybe we put a, what is that shape called? So on top is round, like top of a greenhouse, the round greenhouse. Well, half of a prism, something like that. Then it's square, so the water runs off. Yeah. There's my idea. Coin it, trademark it, send me my dues. Thank you. Drop wipes. Alrighty. Are you trying to figure this out in your head?
No. At all.
You've given up?
I'm just...
Okay.
Waiting.
Ooh, I like this. Drop wipes made a splash in 2019 by being the first sanitary wipe formulated to clean damaging bird droppings from the exterior of your vehicle. Okay.
Somebody thought this was...
I love the marketing. I love the marketing. Pigeons. pigeon.
Wow. Okay.
See, the bird even dropped something on the pea. Yeah. Wow. Drop wipes. Yeah, so you use it to clean off your car. So when the bird decides he's gonna poop one on you.
Otherwise known as a chamois. I'm sorry, which is multi-purpose. But hey, if you want to buy
This is gonna clean it better, because you know sometimes when you clean it, you smear it and it gets foggy. So
and then you rinse it and you go again. There you go. Awesome.
Listen, they invented it. We ought to use it.
Not true.
I tried. Now my selling technique is not working with Jamie. Drop wipes. Listen, these marketers must sit down and come up with these great ideas or these things to market their products.
I'm not sure they're great. I coined a term.
Yeah, but the fact that they have the poop running down like how it would run down on the car, then they have a little drop by where the bird is, because the bird's supposed to be the O. But it's the bird that's dropping the poop, you know? Right? My selling skills ain't working. I give up.
Hold a mate.
Now I found it, mate.
The 2019 machine accepts clothes and spits them out neatly folded. Why? Because you're lazy.
Of course. Jamie,
that's why.
You have to understand, right? Laundry is a whole process. You wash it. You hang it out. You pick it up. You put it in the bed.
Wow.
Check it. You go back to it in 7 to 14 business days, or sometimes 21 business days. And then thereafter, you have to put it away.
Wow.
You know how tough that is? Sometimes I have a pile as high as Mount Lamega. That's how serious it gets. And then I'm asked, you know, one of them clothes, I'm like, are you helping?
I imagine you get a lot of exercise because you're hiking the mountain.
Listen. The average woman can tell you, it takes us at least 7 to 14 business days to put away our clothes.
So you'll have to put that, you'll put them in is that what it is? Because this looks like...
Yeah, that's it. You see,
Yeah, but you'll have to stand there and load them one by one. What's the point? You might as well just fold it yourself.
You think? Maybe
it's not like a bulk loader.
You never know.
It's open.
But at least it's folding, man. The standing it is worth it. At least it's folding. You ain't folding.
I could understand if the reverse happened, if it went from left to right, if it was like...
That's how I fold all my shirts.
Yeah, but if it went from left to right, you put them in the bulk, and then they come out one by one, you could just put them on a hanger, which is cool, right? But it's the opposite. You have to open them up, stand there or sit there, put them in manually to get them folded. What's the point of the machine?
Hello, they're coming out nice and folded. They even look like they were ironed already. So done. That's easy work.
That's not easy. I can imagine. Remember paper jams with the printers? Yeah, clothing jams. What do? Call the tech guy? Like seriously.
Call the tech guy.
Wow.
Or just open it and remove the clothes. Maybe it's easy because they know it's a lady or a woman that has to deal with it. They made it easy for us. So we don't have to call anybody. We just open it, remove that jam, and start again. We will never know until we get a folder mate. I
will never get a folder mate.
All right. Wow. Ooh, the boyfriend's arm pillow. So if you don't have a boyfriend, I guess you get you one of these. So, released in 2008 by the Cameo Corporation, this is a pillow shaped like an embracing human arm. As I said, get you one of these. You won't have to argue with it. It will just be you and your boyfriend. Imaginary. But why you gotta be half though? What if I want to slide over some more? Then I'm gonna fall off the side.
For the next iteration, you need the girlfriend arm pillow, which is complete with the audio files that nag you.
Oh!
Can we do that? Can we just like up the design here, up the innovation?
Can I leave, y'all?
Can we up the innovation?
I didn't even ask for sounds. All I said, make it a little bigger. Now he wants to be nagged. Right. No, the shade. We don't nag, we speak. We are communicative beings.
Oh, I'm sorry. It would be better if you input the audio file, which speaks like, good morning, honey, in your honey's voice. Good morning, honey. It's time to get up. I can't wait to see you. Does that work?
But the whole point of this pillow is basically you don't have anybody. So this is your person. Oh, so you see, he's giving you all ideas. So if honey is away studying, then we can have a pillow.
Preference, that is actually, you know what? I coined a word just now because I realized that stupid and idea have some of the same letters. So this is stupid.
No,
There you
this
go.
is so cute.
Stupidia. Is that right? Stupidia, whatever you call it. Some of these things really didn't be invented.
Wow.
But hey.
Some people need comfort, yo. Some people are depressed.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So this works.
Some people need trans fats too. I'm just saying. Some things are better left not for consumption. All right, the Euro Club. In 2010, urologist Lloyd Seskin introduced the Euro Club, a hollow golf club that allows a player to urinate discreetly on the golf course. Because if you're out of bush, this makes perfect sense.
So what do you gotta do? Hide behind your golf bag? Because they maybe know you gotta hide behind your golf bag, yo.
How's that for a tagline?
Imagine you forgetting, right? That you filled up that club and you go and whack, and all your golf buddies are behind you.
And this is the best part, right? Because there ought to be a button that you should push to like just release it, just in case you need to do it again. Because some people have those kind of problems, right? There you go. Wow. This is great.
They even got a prawn and all, a man prawn. Okay.
Yeah, because nobody would ever suspect what he's doing under there.
No.
Although it looks like he could be doing something else.
Yeah, exactly.
This is bad.
He's setting up for the swing.
And I guess he's replicating the bush with the green, right? Are you kidding? I don't get it.
He's on the green, so he's using green. I love it. I love it.
Certain things ought not to be invented.
What?
This is one of them. I suppose bus drivers here need a steering wheel. When they come out of the bus, they just, because you've seen them, right? I'm pretty sure you have. You just give them a wheel. Tell them, hey, put the wheel up. Yeah, wow. Certain things ought not to have been invented, but they give you a laugh. And some of them I designate to my stupidia pile. There we go. All right, so we'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN. Stay tuned. Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Good morning. This is Karen of Paris and support from Paris Lamont. And we want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Thanks.
Yo, this is your boy Smiley of the Grandmasters Band, and you're watching GMSKN. Hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just make sure you're watching GMSKN. What up?
Did you know that there is a day designated to advocating for the importance of fresh water? Well, now you do. Every year, the St. Kitts Water Services Department organizes a week of activities around the World Water Day to heighten awareness of the importance of conserving our precious and scarce water resources. Today, we are joined by Cromwell Williams, manager and water engineer at St. Kitts Water Services Department. He's here to share with us details on the local observance of this international observation. Welcome to Good Morning SKN, and welcome back, I should say, Mr. Williams.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. It's always great talking with you. I know we had a delightful discussion the last time that you were here. I believe it was a year ago. So on the anniversary, we're celebrating the theme this year, accelerating change. What does that mean?
Right. Well, we live in a world that is constantly changing, and water is no exception to that. We hear a lot today about climate change, and that is no longer something that is seen as speculation or maybe. It is a proven fact that the climate is changing. And so as a result, we have to change, we have to respond as to what that means for our fresh water, our drinking water.
So, I'm not gonna say. How long is the celebration, water celebration, been observed here in St. Kitts?
The World Water Day internationally, I think, was first celebrated in 1993. It's a day designated by the United Nations to focus on the importance of public awareness about the conservation of water, because it is indeed a scarce and limited resource. Some countries, of course, have it worse than others. In St. Kitts, we have not been the worst off by any means compared to some other countries. But that does not mean that we are not ourselves in a not too favorable position with regards to really how much water we have available for our use. So the designation was celebrated first in 1993, and from around 2000 or so here in St. Kitts, we have, at the water department, we have put together a week of activities every year.
So 23 years, that's good.
All right, something you said earlier, sir, when speaking to accelerating change, what are those areas that you think that we need to focus on when it comes to change?
Right. I will say one of the first things that we need to look at is our own culture in terms of how we see water, how we value water. One of the things that I would say a revelation that I have had is that everyone in St. Kitts basically knows water, but we do not value it. It's a big difference. And I will put that how I understand it. If you take another utility service, for instance, electricity, typically someone might pay about $300 per month. An average family, maybe $200-300 for electricity. They pay $20 to $30 for water, 1/10, 1/8, thereabout. And I'm challenging that, because I think when it comes to valuing something, the best way to show you value something is in your pocket, in your wallet. And I think that is something that we as a country, we have to come to terms with. We do not value water, and because of that, we are going to suffer the consequences, because we're not charging the right rate for it. Persons therefore have no impetus, no motivation to conserve. For 20 plus years, I started in the water department. I haven't been there for the whole 20 plus years, but I started in the water department in 1999, and as immediately upon taking up my position as an assistant engineer, I realized, my eyes were opened, and I realized, wow, we don't have water to play around with. 20 years of development, pressure, all the housing that has happened. When you look around, all the areas that were cane fields 20 years ago are now houses, and big houses with many toilets. And we're still operating as if, you know, water is just there, unlimited. And that is not the reality. But the only thing that is going to make us come to terms with the reality is when we start looking at how we value it in our pocketbooks.
So just to be clear, you are actually saying charging more.
Absolutely.
From your side of things. It's a hard sell. I will tell you that now, because as a consumer, and I know you are a consumer as well, obviously you are, you have inside knowledge that would inform your opinion on that matter. But I imagine if you say that to the public, it's going to become something else. It's going to become a financial issue. It's going to become a political issue. Since I mentioned finances, and we're talking about accelerating change, what can you tell us by way of any financial investments that have been made regarding water? Are you aware of any?
The government has always invested in water. Unfortunately, I don't think that we are investing enough. And that's not just buying pipes and backhoes and pumps and building reservoirs. It starts with the people, the workers. A lot of times in management and business, we think of plant and equipment. But the most important and the first asset that we must always think about is the people. Because without the people, without proper development of the people, we cannot have true financial or business success. I myself would have benefited from the government and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis investing in my education back in 1998. And that, I believe, has redounded significantly to the development of the country in terms of the human resource and understanding how we must manage our water resources in an environment of limitation.
Understood.
So, other than the campaign that goes on World Water Day, how else is the public educated on steps that we can take to ensure that we have water for years to come, at least potable water that we can use to cook, eat, drink for years to come and not?
Right, so public awareness is one of the pillars of managing any utility, whether it be gas, electric, cable, water, any utility service where consumers are consuming the product and the service. Public relations is critical, but it is perhaps most critical for water, because whether or not you, the public, at the end of the day, have water when you open your tap is as dependent on you as it is on me. Because if I provide 1 million gallons of water in the distribution system, but there are lots of persons who have leaking toilets and that water is just going down their toilet, even if they are paying for it because it is so cheap that they can afford to pay for it, because I'm not charging them the real price, then it means that if you are wasting, your neighbor up the road don't have water because you down the road are wasting. There are people in St. Kitts who are using 10 and 20 times what they're supposed to be using. And I've been trying to get people convinced of this over the last 20 years, but very few people are taking us serious. And that is the issue. Now we're on the doorstep of desalination to augment our supplies. Because, as I said, the rapid development over the last 20 or so years, the housing boom and so on, hotel construction and so on. And so we have to find continuously additional sources. So now we have to turn to desalination. Desalination is nothing new. It is all the other islands around us have had to turn to it for decades, some of them. Antigua, about maybe 80%, almost 100% of their water is from desalination because they don't have the mountains that we have that traps most of the rain, and so they have always had less rainfall. A country like Dominica will not turn to desalination anytime soon because they're high mountainous, 2 times the rainfall that we get. So it depends on the geography, of course, of the island. But St. Kitts and Nevis, we are now at that stage where, you know, as we continue to develop, we have to start bringing some desalination into our system. And desalination is much more expensive than our traditional groundwater and spring water.
So it might actually affect the pockets. We might see the increase in the rate there because we're getting desalinated water.
Naturally.
Interesting point. So conservation makes sense from so many perspectives.
It makes absolute sense.
All right, let's proceed now to the World Water Day events because we had some pre-activities from the 1st to the 17th of March. Primary schools do a competition. As I listened to you speak about changing attitudes, I thought, well, this competition seems to be informing that change that needs to happen with the younger generation to ensure that we have a culture of people who actually appreciate how to conserve water. So what can you tell us about the primary schools DUR competition and also the high schools TikTok competition?
So I must commend my planning committee at the Water Department for organizing these events. I've seen some of the videos that some of the primary school students especially have put together, and it is heartening that they are showing such interest in understanding the importance of water. I think that it will redound to the future. We've also had our open day yesterday, Monday and Tuesday, and we invited the schools to come in. And, you know, these children came in as usual, and they were very interested in learning about their water, how it comes to them, and so on. So we try to do that at least once a year during this week. But I think, of course, there's more need for more sustained collaboration between the Ministry of Education and the Water Services Department to ensure that, you know, it is not just once a year, you know, but it is something that is done as perhaps part of the curriculum, you know, that we go in more often and interact with the students.
That'd be a great idea.
So I see on the 19th you had your church service and also the minister's address. So can you tell me a bit of what the minister would have said?
The minister's address, I think it was very, I think he touched on all that needed to be touched on. The accelerating change, the theme. I think even before that, the minister, as you know, we had a change of administration, and the new minister, the Honorable Congress Maynard, himself is an engineer, not a water engineer, but being an engineer, I think he would have quickly grasped the situation with regards to water. And I think he's demonstrated thus far that he is on board in championing and advocating. Matter of fact, he is today at the United Nations, along with some other local persons, where they're having a conference on water. It is a very huge conference at the United Nations. So, yes, the minister would have, you know, indicated that, you know, one of the obvious change that needs to be accelerated is the amount of money that is going to be invested in water, because we need to build more reservoirs. We need to continue to drill new wells. We need to go into desalination. We need to build out the infrastructure. And when I came this morning, I saw you all were talking about different technologies. Water is something that needs a lot more technology. And so that is also something that we need, because we've always seen water in St. Kitts as something simple, low-tech, but it is not. Even with the COVID taught us that everything needs to move towards remote technology and so on. If we're locked down in our house, you know, you still need people to go and make sure the water system is working.
Yeah.
It is possible to stay at your desk at a computer and manage the system to what we call SCADA, supervisory control and data acquisition. That is something you'd find in electricity companies and gas companies and in modern water companies and so on. So we also need to invest much more money in water, but as I said, the equipment alone is not going to solve the problem. You have to start with the people.
No, so there's a lot of information that you just gave to us. As we continue to focus on the World Water Day events, 20th and 21st of March, the exhibition at Le Grite. Today you were actually having a staff health fair, which is quite interesting.
Today, yes.
And customer appreciation.
I'm going to try the soca size this afternoon. I think it's important for us to do things together as a staff and also to take care of our health. I'm very happy that even this morning when I went into the office, the nurses and the doctor are there already, and the persons are already doing their health screening and health checks. Okay. And I think that speaks volume as to the fact that, you know, we as a department, we value the health and well-being of the workers. We might not be able to pay them, you know, as well as we would like to, and so on, but, you know, it at least, I'm happy that the planning committee saw the importance of having, you know, the health fair. And we invite our customers to come in today, as today is Customer Appreciation Day, and we have tokens and so on for them.
And the raffle.
The raffle, okay. So one of our corporate partners, TDC, has donated one of those black storage tanks that we will be raffling to one of our customers. I think it is good because more and more persons are getting interested in having their own storage at home, you know, whether it is 500 gallons, 1,000 gallons. It's important because as we get into more difficult challenges, you know, it's important that when we are not able to supply you for a day or some hours during a day, if you have storage, you know, you can still continue your own operations at home.
Okay. So do you have enough water for the soca size this afternoon?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay, we see now. Then tomorrow you have your Farmers Worker Appreciation Day. How important is this?
Sorry, tomorrow is Thursday. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
so, right. So actually we would have done that on Sunday during the church service, where we would have given plaques to 3 of our farmer workers. If I can remember the names, Mr. Colin Dorr, Mr. Kervin Hendrickson, and Mr. Courtney Morris. Okay. And they are farmer workers who would have given many years of service. And we are appreciative because even after you have left the Water Services Department, you have retired, we are benefiting. The country continues to benefit from, you know, what you would have invested. Yes, we paid you, but we didn't pay you, you know. It's more than the money. Yes. When you invest in water, in the building of the water infrastructure in the country, is more than, you know, the money that you take home at the end of the week or the month.
Definitely true. There is going to be a staff retreat and professional development day. That's on the 24th. And
unfortunately, we had to
that.
Postpone that for later in the year.
I see.
Yeah, because we didn't get through it with adequate planning for it.
Okay.
But it is critically important, and it's something that we definitely going to have later in the year.
Well, yes, obviously professional development is really important.
It is.
Are you able to have the staff appreciation beachnik?
Yes, that is now planned for Saturday instead of Sunday. because apparently a lot of the staff indicated that they wanted to be at the, I think it's the Intersports they're having on Sunday.
Sunday, okay, yeah, that's a big thing.
We move it to Saturday, yes. So we will be socializing on the beach on Saturday.
I'm probably getting inspiration about desalination at the beach.
hopefully, yes. Yes.
Indeed. Go ahead, Jimmy.
There's a prize giving ceremony on the 28th.
Oh, for the schools? Yes. Those who would have won and participated, yes, in the door competition
and the TikTok.
Okay, that's right. I'm afraid I can't say much about the TikTok. You know, that's a young people thing.
Some hear it.
I can't say too much about that, but yeah, I know a little bit about TikTok. But
well, perhaps you should make a post when you go back to the office today with your staff. And would that be your first one?
The
TikTok. Are you on TikTok? Do you make posts?
No, I'm not on TikTok.
For today, World Water Day 2023, I'm going to challenge you. Make a post.
On a side note, I was listening to a news article. They were talking about TikTok, and they said 2/3 of American teens are on TikTok. And I was just shocked. That's a lot of power that software or that company has.
Yes, definitely so. But if you want to reach them,
yeah, I guess. So I guess my staff will be looking into that, you know.
That's his staff. Mr. Carmel's like, not me.
They will teach me.
Yes.
Okay. So I was reading an article again that says that by 2050, at least 2/3 of the world will experience at least 1 month without water. In closing, what can you tell us here in St. Kitts? Or can you remind us, can you stress on the importance to conserve water so that we are not part of that 2/3?
Okay, so I want to be able to break it down for the average, as they would say, man on the street. What am I really trying to say about the water situation in St. Kitts? All of our water comes from rain. Well, now that we're going into seawater desalination, making fresh water from seawater, technically that will not be true. But as of we speak today, all of the water that the water department captures and distributes to households, businesses, farmers, comes from rain. That's the first thing. I don't think the average man on the street knew that or knows that. It comes from rain. So, it doesn't rain every day. There's a wet season and there's a dry season. By the way, sorry, last year, persons would know that we had some challenges providing water for everyone on a 24-hour basis. We had some serious challenges in St. Peter's area, especially for a few months. However, I'm proud to say that I think this morning, over 90, maybe 98, 99% of persons this morning would have had water at their taps. So we're doing a good job. And perhaps, you know, that needs to be stressed. We have been working in ensuring that people in St. Kitts have water, and we have been succeeding fairly well. However, from a few years ago, we were not able to provide that 24-hour service, especially in Basti, and Basti is the capital. That's because we know our demand would have exceeded our supply. So what we're saying is that there are some persons out there who have leaks. Now, persons like to immediately push back and say, well, water department, you have leaks sometimes and you don't go and fix them, sometimes for days and weeks. Some people will say for months. I call in about a leak and it's still there. There are exceptions, yes, that might happen on some exceptional occasions. But what I'm saying to the average man on the street, there are a lot of persons out there who have leaking toilets and so on in their houses. They are using a lot of water. They're wasting a lot of water. Every person, every household needs to check to see how much water they're using. And we are to blame because there are a lot of persons who do not have a working meter. Now, the meter is what is important because that is what measures. If we can't measure water, we can't manage it. That's the first step for us to manage water. We must be able to measure it That means a meter. I should have walked with a meter so people can see what it looks like. It's about this size. That is the key to it, the meter. That is what tells us this month you use 1,000 gallons or you use 5,000 gallons. Or sometimes we see some persons use 30,000, 50,000. I said to the meter reader, go back and check again because maybe you made an error in reading the meter. He goes back, he checks, he says, no, it's correct, 50,000 gallons. And then the person comes in screaming, you guys are crazy. This is not a hotel or a hospital. How could I use 50,000 gallons? Because you have one or more toilets in your house that's been running water every day. You go on to work 24/7, your toilet running water down into your septic tank, into the ground. And so that you use 50,000 gallons when you were supposed to use 5,000. You have used 10 times the water you were supposed to use. You have robbed 9 other persons in your area the opportunity to have a reliable supply of water. And that is the crazy, ridiculous reality that we're facing here in St. Kitts. And we need to wake up and face up to it. Building a large desalination plant is a solution, but it's not the right environmental solution. Because we have water that we are wasting, going and getting more water from the sea. Yes, eventually we will have to, but we need to stop those persons who are wasting water first.
Okay.
Well said. Two-part process. It's going to work together. Conservation, desalination, and whatever other technical innovation.
Yes. There are other things such as roof catchments. In St. Kitts, roof catchments, what do you call it again? Yeah, in St. Kitts, traditionally, persons don't really catch water from their roof to use. But that is something that we need to start looking seriously at.
Storage.
It will be much cheaper than desalination.
That's also
so
true.
that is something that, you know, we all need to look at.
Mr. Williams, thank you so very much for coming and sharing a bit of your time on this very busy but important day. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, good morning, SKN. In a moment, stay tuned.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Good morning, SKN. Wagwan. Yo, this is Bensley Lad coming to you live from Jamaica. You see it, go already. See me. See me, I say Caribbean people stand up and I love this. This show is very important. You understand me? Yeah, man. Studio 327. Bensley Lad, it's a big up. See me, I say. I'm the whole innocent crew. Yeah, man. More love.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Yesterday, Tuesday, the 21st March, was World Poetry Day. This annual observance was declared by UNESCO in 1999 with the aim of supporting linguistic diversity through poetic expression and increasing the opportunity for endangered languages to be heard. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with a son of the soil who has a special talent for poetic expression. He is none other than James Galloway. Pleasant good morning, James, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning to you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Our pleasure having you. So we'll dive straight into it. The theme for this year is always be a poet, even in prose. Now, what does that mean to you?
At first, when I heard it, it seemed a little contradictory given, what prose is and what poetry is. But then as I thought about it a little more, I realized that I think, well, for me personally, as a poet, I always do it. Because even when writing, more structured documents, I still, add a little poetic flair to them, to hook a reader. They're both, to me, just forms of storytelling. I think ultimately poetry, prose, forms of writing, they're just means of storytelling, conveying information. It's just how the artist chooses to relay that information, relay that story. I think they're just options. So I think definitely the poetic style verse can be integrated into prose.
Okay.
Well, obviously, James, you're a very young guy. When I think of poets, I think, and we spoke with a poet, one who is part of a society yesterday, who basically said that it's a dying art. And as someone who's very young, I'm curious to know how you got into it and why you have maintained your interest in it.
Well, I don't consider myself to be very young. Very bad. I started when I was very young in terms of, but actually getting into this spoken word art form, I think I would say that started a few years ago. I remember there was a Culturama, because I'm based in Nevis, Culturama Queen contestant, some welcoming or something. and I was asked to do a piece with myself and a few other poets. And I did the piece. That was my first performance. I think Clayton Huggins had asked me. And while I was there, I think after everything went well. It was a nice performance. It was a nice, gathering of poets. And after the show, was Stephen Love invited me to Island Expressions. And at that time, I didn't know what Island Expressions was. And then after putting it off, here and there, I actually went. And my first Island Expressions, the first time I went to Island Expressions was a slam. It was a poetry slam. I went up, I started my piece, and Boss went completely blank.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it went completely blank. And gathered my bearings, said my piece, and I didn't win that slam, but I've since that time I've not entered a poetry competition that I didn't, win. Yeah.
That's a great story. I like the perseverance coming through. Awesome.
Yeah.
So what made you stop in the middle of saying your poem?
I went blank. I went blank. There's just nerves.
Just nerves. Okay.
Because the thing about it, what I've always written, but spoken word poetry, what it really was, there's a one of the most common fears among people is actually public speaking. So I'd always written poetry, and to me, I had a little bit of that fear. So I entered spoken word really to just,
overcome it.
Overcome that fear, and then, I'm highly competitive in that sphere. So then after the slam, when the slams and the poetry competitions, I just kept challenging myself, and the outcomes are very positive.
Good stuff. So who's your favorite poet, if I may ask?
I have a few. At the top of that, I think at the top of the top two for me would be Chesley Manners and Lachlan Tatum. I think those are my two favorite spoken word poets. Chesley just has a way of making things laughable. Chesley just has a way of making things laughable. And I think Lachlan he's very thought-provoking in the way he in the pieces he writes and things. I think also Pension is always is there for me, and Kimberly Knight. I like hearing her pieces too. I like hearing the way she delivers. I like hearing, the style of writing she does. They're very. You feel like you get a piece of her soul when she's really delivering her pieces.
Okay.
And no, this person I know him as a writer rather than a poet. But Paul Keynes Douglas.
Okay.
Paul Keynes Douglas. Yeah, I think those form the top, because I consider Paul Keynes a poet as well.
Okay.
It's interesting because when we were having this discussion on poetry, Paul Keynes Douglas came to my mind yesterday, and I was actually going to mention his name, and I'm glad that you did that, because not only are you mentioning his name, but Lachlan's name and Kimberly's name. You're making me a little nostalgic, James, to be honest, when you talk about hearing Kimberly, because I've heard the way that she performed, so this is really interesting. Are any of your poems published anywhere, James?
Yes, I've done a few pieces that are published like by request. I myself haven't published anything because there's a lot of reasons. Most of it just comes down to time. Most of it just comes down to time. The endless procrastination. Because you have the pieces and all these things. But a lot of my pieces, they are written since I started spoken word. I really write to be heard. So a lot of the pieces, actually, just reading them, they probably won't convey the same way as hearing them, because they're not written with appropriate grammatic structure, written for my part in speaking, where I want to put the emphasis, the word, So that's something that I have to think out, publish with an audiobook or something.
Okay.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So since we're in the vein of writing, how has your writing evolved over the years?
How is if I can change the question a bit, because how is kind of, I don't know how I would answer the whole question.
Okay.
Simply because it is what it is. You if you listen to it, you'll hear it. That's all I can say.
Okay.
I would like to address the why though, in terms of the reason it evolved over the years from where it started and what happened. And I think a major, even the names I call, a major part of that was just sharing this space with other creatives, other poetry events. Like Island Expression really played a big part in developing my skill. And once I started performing on stage, my writing changed because I realized the requirements for stage in terms of spoken word. They required something a little different, so that changed my writing. There was also guys like, why can't I remember his name? But he had Irvin, the taxi stand. When they used to put on the taxi stand, we used to meet as a group of poets by the taxi stand and we'd, share pieces, write pieces. In fact, and that was something, he would give little challenges. So he would, we give little challenges. So write about this, write about that, pick a topic on this spot and write about it. And that helped to develop, the style. And then there was Need to Speak with Clayton Huggins. So I think just being in the space with other poets, hearing other perspectives, the Pankos, all those people, the Clayton Huggins, all those people, just hearing them, even though it's not your style, even though it's not your cadence, it still adds something to what you do. And I think I've incorporated all those experiences into what it is now.
Here's my question for you now, James. Obviously, when you were writing poetry, I think you said it earlier, you said you wrote to be heard, you're expressing yourself, it's coming out. I want to know, on the flip side of that, whether poetry has influenced the way that you see the world.
That's a chicken or the egg kind of question. Perhaps it has, but I've personally not made a distinction between what has influenced me and what I influence in terms. I don't know that you can separate those things. I look at it as I'm just expressing experiences and observations, and just maybe the way, and I think it's experiences. I think what makes a poem, a piece, any art impactful is that it's something that everyone kind of knows, kind of feels, but you put it over in a way that no one has ever thought to put it over in a way before. And yes, maybe in writing, it will change your perspective because you start to think about the way you think. You put down words, you cross out words, you're like, why is that? So you begin to question yourself. So it does have an impact on you. And I think by putting the piece out, you do have an impact on it. So I don't think it's something that can be separated. I don't know what part where in the cycle I started, where in the cycle I end, but I just consider it a cycle. I don't really separate them.
Okay, well, James, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back to continue our discussion.
All right.
各位朋友，大家好. Greetings, my lovely people.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are joined by James Galloway, a local poet, and he will now delight us with a recitation of one of his poems. James, take it away.
Yeah, this piece is called The Naked Truth. I selected it because it's actually a piece written about my process in creating a poem, writing a piece, using a long, what I call a long metaphor. These days, it's all about the outfits. And these kicks were probably made by Nike on the hands of a Filipino youth, also you could like me. Or it might just be made by Stacey Adams, but that's above average, reserved for the privilege. But at this price, I definitely got to have it. Yes, these outfits at the outlets for profit that contribute to expensive taste on a poor man's pocket, but that's cool, because I don't need to save all of the time, just some of the time. Silly as it sounds, these outfits determine my benefits, brand new, brand name, so I can look like I have money even when I'm penniless. And while you're at it, give me 4 pairs of socks, no reds, just whites, definitely no blacks. And for the rest of the year, I'm only wearing slacks. So, forget jeans, I am stitching dreams. I got plans to turn my words into sewing machines. And product more expensive than a pair of vintage Gucci. Needed some needles, got the hookup from a junkie, got the thread from a blogger, he imported from China, said it was made from the hair of a virgin's vagina, so it's pure, custom-made gab the poetry's couture. My fabric is logic, arranged them in bars that are smuggled through a convict. He used to kill time, now he serves time for murder. Gave me a kite, told me to take it to his mother. She read it and she said I could use it as a tag, but only if I knocked her off a Burberry bag. So tagged it is. I'm about bespoke tailoring, so I hope this one-size-fits-all system is listening. Honesty is my tape measure, and my definition of style is functional. I am making garments that get the jobs done. I'm talking fatigues, no rhinestones, no pearl snaps, no arrowhead pockets, none of that quasi-homosexual agenda they call swag. I refuse to clean my shoes 5 times a day to stand on the block doing nothing. My sneakers are scuffed for a reason. I got places to be. No short-cut tight jeans for me. My balls are too damn big and my cock is too damn long. I am a man. I give my room to dangle. Forgive me if I don't want to be a part of this zombie culture hypnotized by fans, threads, and all these other concoctions that some advertising consultant can dream up to convince me that my outward appearance determines my worth. My grandfather told me, man make the bridges don't make the man. I have come to make alterations to your very thoughts. What makes you you is not hinged on a piece of cloth you bought. The real is hidden in the pattern of your soul, tailored by the universe itself. Let your spirit be your fashion advisor. I give you the naked truth, because the truth is the emperor's new clothes. If you are wise, you will see them. I stand here whispering curses on every mannequin ever posed. I testify that even if I had nothing but skin to cover my toes, I would still be fly.
What was the inspiration? That was a beautiful poem, but what was the inspiration behind it?
That was just, it was really, like I said, it was a piece about my process of writing. So that's really what it's about. It's just that I use the metaphor of clothing, you know?
Okay.
Forget dreams, forget jeans, I'm stitching dreams. I got plans to turn my words into sewing machines. About really what it was about more of a critique of the content that we sometimes see. We live in a space that it's ripe for social commentary, and at the core, I think that's what art is. Poetry is social commentary. However, a lot of the time you find, you know, everyone just writing about the same things, and I guess maybe it's easier to do. Maybe it's less hassle than critiquing, you know, the status quo. So that's really what inspired it. Just me wanting to talk about the creative process, selecting my content, put my things together. Some people get it, some people won't. But it was more for me. I really wanted to think that really be out how I you know, wrote a spoken word piece and what I wanted it to achieve.
Well, you said it was a long metaphor, and it was definitely an effective metaphor. Thank you very much, James, for sharing that with us, and thank you for sharing your time with us as well. Always a pleasure to catch up with you. Hopefully, we'll do this again sometime soon.
Thank you very much for the invite. Hopefully next time we're in studio.
Yes, that'd be great. Definitely great. All right, thanks a lot, James. Take care.
All right, thank you. You have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. More Good Morning SKN in a flash. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Good morning. This is Kayana Paris and support from Paris Lamont. I want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Thanks.
Earlier this week, we celebrated International Day of Happiness by sharing some habits outlined by Healthline to kickstart your quest to happiness. As we loosen up, we are going to have a more candid discussion about happiness, specifically happiness versus contentment. Let's talk about the never-ending pursuit of happiness. Is it a never-ending pursuit? Are we always trying to get to that point where we are happy?
Completely happy, yeah.
Versus being content with whatever state we are in? That's, I guess, the question.
Okay, so happiness is fleeting, and we always say that because 1 minute you're happy, next minute you're sad. That's why people call people bipolar, I guess. I don't know. But I do know, but that's not the case right now. But yeah, you're not uber happy all the time. You have days when you laugh your head off, like I just had a nice laugh, the back of my head is hurting. I don't have those laughs every day. And there are days when I laugh until I literally cry. I'm on the floor, my friends are and I cannot control it. I cannot control it. So yeah, we have those days, but I think we all long to be at a place where we are content, fully content. And therefore we think that happiness won't elude us. But we might just wake up every day saying, okay, I'm content, so happiness is there. I don't have to worry about anything, be it my finances, be it a roof over my head, a job that I love going to, etc., etc.
Yeah, so happiness is, well, happiness, as you rightly said, is fleeting. Contentment is more long-lasting.
Yeah.
And generally unaffected by external stimuli.
Not all the time, yeah. Yeah.
Contentment, yes, in whatever state you are in, you're unaffected by, generally anyway, external stimuli. All right, so let's talk now about the rat race.
But I don't have a tail, and I don't got pointy nose, and I'm not in the race, and I don't got fur.
And by the rat race, we're speaking about constantly seeking the next best thing as a source of happiness. So that's the rat race. Do we do that as human beings?
We do. So Jamie, I got the new Louis V's, but then the newer one is coming out, like the iPhone, so I need to upgrade because I see the Jones is over there. She's got the new one, and I had my first Louis V before her, so she should not have that before me. So then I need to upgrade, so I need to go forward. So in the time being, when I got that first Louis V, I was extremely happy, and that happiness brought me contentment because I was the only person in the neighborhood with my LV. But now I had somebody that's copied me, that's gone a bit further than me. So now I got to outdo them. So the race continues. Squeak, squeak, all the way to the end in the rat race.
Is there anybody who thinks that this is Cortentia's version of spoken word concerning Louis Vuitton?
Oh.
Because I certainly do.
Was that a poem? I didn't even get that. I was just saying how things go.
Okay, watch
Ooh,
the
look at
playback
me.
and let me
Look
know.
at me being a poet. Samal, Honorable Samal Duggins, when you bring back island expressions, look for this face. Jamie has given me some motivation too.
I was just asking a question. Don't pin it on me.
So my poem will be the rat race to secure a LV. I like that.
Wow. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah. So what do you think, Jamie, with the rat race? How, oh my gosh, the question I'm trying to ask, and I guess you will know because maybe you don't keep up with the rat race, but how draining is it? In the pockets, in your mind?
Not in any sort of race, right? Except for the human race, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe the black race. That's about all the races.
We're not squeaking to the end.
All right, definitely not a
The
rat
race.
When you think about rats, you're thinking about
the Black Viper?
That, let's say all those bad connotations that come up with rats. And you think about
disease.
How basic they are.
Ooh.
Again, at the base level of things. Have you ever seen a...
And they're scurrying after the same thing.
At the lowest level, yeah.
Oh my gosh. And they're packed up together. I don't like being part of a pack. I like standing out. So yeah, that's why I don't want to be a part of the LV race, because everybody's got an LV. I want a shoe that nobody's got.
Wow.
I'm yet to find that.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, well, that make you content or happy. If you find your happiness in shoes, why not? Go right ahead.
Wow.
I think, what was her name? Cinderella did. So maybe you find yours.
She had her one shoes though. She didn't have a set of shoes or a bag of shoes, as we would say. Lady had one shoe, you know, and as you rightfully said, that shoe brought her, what do you call it? Eternal happiness. She didn't have to pursue it anymore, and she was content because she had the highest guy in the kingdom.
So
Shucks me.
Maybe you ladies out there are looking to recreate your Cinderella moments by
leaving LV behind.
Yeah, there you go. Right, you're getting all the shoes. It's like you never know. This might be the one that gets his attention. Just kidding. Please, no hate mail.
But you know, they said, Jamie, they said that a man should never buy a lady a shoes because that's the same shoe she walks away from him in, right?
No, where do you read these things?
It is true. Yeah, you should Google it.
Never buy her a ring because that's the same ring that she'll leave with you when she goes, or she'll just take the ring with her.
Just a shoe.
Just you get where I'm going with this, right?
No. You see,
Guys, I'm
Jeremy like to
joking.
say, I am the instigator of these conversations. Do you see who the instigator is right over there?
You started talking about shoes and leaving.
Yeah, 'cause
you
they
brought
say-
relationships into it. I just followed. You
but
started.
the talk is, don't buy lady shoes because she's
Anyway.
gonna walk away from you. Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know.
All right, so if you buy her a house, she stays in it?
Yeah, duh.
Really?
Don't you realize if something happens, most of the time the guys get booted out?
There we go. We're talking about contentment and happiness, okay? We're not talking about that thing.
Jamie started it.
Let's go. No, I didn't. All right, so obviously happiness is a fleeting emotion. We said that. Doesn't last forever.
Doesn't, sure doesn't.
There's a friend of mine who said to me that one shouldn't depend on other people to make you happy. You should make yourself happy.
Yes.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
Definitely so.
But why should we depend on the other person to make us happy? Even in relationships sometimes, and we're gonna go there. You look at your spouse and you be like, they're supposed to make me happy every day and they're being miserable and I'm upset, but you shouldn't. Just watch some cartoons, get over life, drink some red wine, eat some cheese.
What do you call those guys at the airport that direct the planes? Because I was trying to give her the signals, like don't go that way. Like, you know those guys with the
marshallers.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like don't stop. Back,
No, but it's true though. It is true. You need to come in with your own little happiness, and then when you get to that place of wanting to kill the person that you're with, you just zen out. As I said, drink a glass of wine, go somewhere cool, chill out. Yeah. Murder, She Wrote.
The
on
previous
television.
statement was strictly for entertainment purposes only. All right. So as we talk about contentment, it's a long-lasting feeling accompanied by peacefulness, gratitude, and satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes you zen, as you said. You're at peace. You're grateful for everything that you have, even though you might not have everything that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And you're satisfied. Just content.
Yeah, because as I said, is there permanent happiness though? Because I read something that says permanent happiness lies in a stable and peaceful mind. Therefore, stop running after pleasure to achieve permanent happiness. So don't try to get the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And maybe you don't need, maybe you just want it because it's in fashion. Like the Air Force that the guys speak about with the white socks, because that's what you're supposed to wear it with. You can't wear it with red or black. It has to be white with your Air Force Ones. Yeah, so we're running after the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing.
Here's the question, though. What makes you happy? And this is not you, per se, but you guys. What makes you happy? I bet if we ask that question to everyone, which I'm doing now, effectively, we'll get different answers. Some might say their family, some might say their work, some might say their life's purpose. There are many different things that make people happy. It could be multiple things that make one person happy, right? But there are mixes. So I don't think that anyone has that recipe for what makes happiness, well, what makes us happy. Let me put it that way. Because we're following all this advice. We're telling people, this is what is contentment, this is what is happiness, etc., and you shouldn't do this, or maybe you should do that. But really, life doesn't really come with a rule book that works for everybody. It's not one size fits all.
No.
And even if we had one, which some of us argue that we do, not everybody reads or follows it, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, what makes you happy? I think it's a personal thing.
And as you said, at the moment, maybe buying something makes you feel happy, like me. At the moment, seeing the gummies and eating the gummies make me feel happy, but then thereafter I think, what did you do? That's calories that you put in and you have to work on and you don't feel like working out today. So, and then I get sad because then the happiness goes away because all the gummies are in my system now and I'm thinking, that again, sugar again. Are you crazy, girl? Yeah, so you see, it's a moment. It's just a moment. Imagine me indulging in a Magnum with nuts, with triple caramel inside, with some ganache. Oh my gosh. Oh, and especially that, what's the word? The pistachio. So you all know what I do. Oh, I confess too much on television. It's bad for me. And then thereafter, I'm sad. And the happiness that I just had 5 minutes ago is like gone because I'm upset with myself. Because all I'm thinking, have you seen what the scale said to you lately? Get off and exercise. Exactly.
And in other news, as we talk about what makes us happy for kids.
I just have, I'm sure folks go through the same thing that Cortenza goes through. Yeah.
So, how do you guys find happiness, right? Like, seriously, because right now we're down, I don't know, misery lane.
We're back at happiness. We're back at happiness. But Jamie, let's touch on contentment a bit before we go. Because for those persons that are not contented, it breeds discontentment. And we see many of world leaders, we're not going to pick specific countries, although their salaries are grand, they still end up in bribery. They still end up in corruption. They still end up in a lot of things that they shouldn't be in. Like, so they're not contented. They have the biggest houses, they have the biggest cars, but they still want the next biggest thing, which is what? Jail time? It isn't worth it, guys. And a tarnish on your name. Like, I just was listening to the news this morning, and the next person from the next island is being investigated for bribery charges again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, gentle people, don't we have enough?
Being investigated doesn't mean guilt, so
exactly.
But
the fact that it's most of the world leaders that are, or people that are in high positions in society, are often caught with these bribery things because of lack of contentment and being in corruption, hiding stuff for the rich and the famous.
You've got to have power. You've got to have a bargaining chip if you are to bribe someone. So that's why you're going to get political magnates or business magnates being the ones who do that, because they have access to the resources, be it money or otherwise.
Guys, don't take it.
That's how it works.
Person isn't worth it.
I mean, are you going to be bribed by a homeless person on the street? Do you really think that that person has the ability to bribe you?
Never know.
Come on, Patricia.
Don't judge.
It doesn't work like that.
I know.
There's got to be some leverage.
Yeah.
And so that's the way it works. In any event, when you're talking about happiness, what makes you happy, what makes you content, know the difference. Don't look outside of yourself to be happy. Know yourself. Know what makes you happy. Follow it. And be content, whatever state you're in.
Be content. Ignore the ice cream and the gummies.
All
and
right,
you'll
that's
be
very
happy
specific.
always.
Whatever state you are in. All right, we'll be back in a moment with more GM SKN.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
大家好，我是陈琦，早安 SKN。
Your Shady Boy say representing for Good Morning
and this is lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
In this segment of On the Charts, we are going to look at the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 and giving our take to some of their most popular lyrics. Wow, so we'll be giving their takes. I don't even know what's on the Billboard Hot 100 top 10. I remember my days of, calling up my friend and be like, girl, do you see what's on VH1 top 10? And, I was in tuned. Y'all, am I really getting old? Because this is hard to believe that I don't know what's on it. I don't even know the hip songs. Wow. So you're just gonna zip your lip and not even help out your fellow colleague here? All right. Okay, y'all, I'm drowning here. I'm not even getting a life jacket.
Never comment on a woman's age.
But I didn't say my age. Remember, I'm young.
You said you're getting old. So how young could you be, Pretensive?
See, I've bought into what Jamie told me. I've bought into it eventually, I'm still young.
We're going to have any oldie goldies on this thing? I'm looking for connection here. Here we go. So, top 10 songs.
You Proof. No, I don't know You Proof. So, is this song saying that he is coming in You Proof? So if you try to disturb his happiness or his contentment or his peace, it ain't gonna work because he's You Proofed? I don't know. I need something You Proof, something stronger than I'm used to. Yeah, I've been pouring 90 to 100, feeling like nothing's gonna cut it. That's the hard truth. Yeah, I need something You Proof. Oh, I need something You Proof. What is it? You Proof now is giving me alcohol vibe. Like, since he said he needs something 90 to 100. Yeah.
I take back everything that I said about spoken word. Ain't no way you're going to get me to read after that. I'm just going to look. You guys got to read yourselves.
I did not know I should be in the same vein as the poet, so I was just reading.
I'm sorry. I take it back. I take back everything that I said.
I don't know that song.
All right.
I don't even know Morgan Wallen. Okay, so I promised myself I'm going to start listening to some music so I don't feel left out and aged. Because like cheese and fine wine, we taste, that's a bad thing. It gets better. Yeah. Ooh. He's got 2 songs on the Hot 100 top 10 list.
All right, so this one is Thought You Should Know. What should you know, Morgan? Why don't you tell us what we should know? Wow, Prayers Wasted. Oh, okay, this is cool. I like that.
You should know that all those prayers.
That's actually kind of cool because he's saying, the lyrics here, wasted prayers are not actually wasted. They actually came true after all. That's great. Good message.
Okay. So I thought you should know that you know.
Why are you making up a melody to a song that you don't know? I thought you should know the song by now. Hey,
I really don't want Jihan calling me and saying, Cortensia, why?
Nah, there's no way I'm
I'll behave. I don't want to be an intellectual policy with you.
There is no way I'm going to be singing any of these things. But these lyrics are definitely cool. And this one has a higher rating than the next one.
Creeping. This could be creeping like cheating creeping. This could be creeping like creepers in the night. But this, I don't know what kind of creeping this is.
You're about to find out.
I don't want to know if you're playing me. See, this is what this, as I taught.
I know this one. I think everybody knows this one.
But you? I don't.
Oh, come on. Oh, yeah.
Because I'm
the
singing it
melody's
wrong.
in my head.
Okay, do the melody.
No,
do
I'm
the
not going to sing the melody.
I don't want to know
No,
if you're
please
playing
don't.
me.
Please.
Keep it on the low, because my heart can't take it anymore. And if you're creeping, please don't let me know. Oh, baby, I don't
I'm sure it was more than one note, but anyway. keep going.
I don't know. I don't want to know. So I'll be creeping. Don't be creeping on me. I suggest
Yeah, that's a good song, actually.
Really?
Really catchy.
But I don't want to know if you're playing me. No.
Yeah, because you don't want to know. Ignorance is bliss, isn't it? Ignorance is really bliss.
But imagine if you get me creeped on.
This guy just doesn't want to know. Keep it on the low.
Wow.
Okay?
But
No heartbreak here.
But ooh, big song.
All right, so Selena Gomez. I like Selena Gomez.
Banger, baby, calm down, calm down. I don't know the rest of the song.
All right.
Oh, that's how it go. As I reach my house, I make a small rest.
Oh boy.
As I wake up, now she there on my mind. No.
Listen.
Now she there on my mind. Oh. They one, they two.
Oh, Lord, help. Let the prayers come through. Stop. I beg you.
No, listen. These people's songs are hard to sing, you know?
We're giving our takes on these. You guys know what a bad hearer day is? This is a bad take day. Cortez says, stop. No more. All right. It's going to be a bad take. All right? The melody's in my head as well.
Yeah.
And the chorus actually is what I think we remember more than anything else.
Baby, calm down. Calm down. Something my body and the dance I don't know how to do. Yeah.
Okay, this is where I stop giving hits and saying things. Okay, I'm just gonna.
But I thought he was higher than that on the charts. I really thought. This song I know. I remember.
Countdown. He's number 7.
He used it on me, y'all. Y'all realize that, right? He used it on me. Okay, I'm gonna calm down. Oh,
Taylor.
No, I don't know.
Taylor. Are we meant to be together? I don't know. We're never getting back together, are we?
Ooh,
all right.
I hope somebody sees this and sends it to Taylor. Maybe there's a chance for Taylor and Jamie to get back together.
No, we're never going to do that. We weren't even together in the first place. All right. I'm reading this. I don't even want to try to sing it. I'm not even going to try to speak it. Things get lost in translation sometimes.
So I have this thing where I get older, but just never wiser. Midnights become my afternoons when my depression works the graveyard shift. All of the people I've ghosted stand there in the room.
Oh, this is actually great.
You be ghosting
for imagery.
people.
I love that.
You be ghosting people, girl?
So you've ghosted them. You take the graveyard shift where ghosts are. I love the poetry in this.
They're all watching you. I always feel like the ghosts are watching me. And I have no privacy. Oh. Okay. Ooh. Pink Pantress and Ice Spice. Wow, who's who? Okay, Ice Spice may be the... Okay, figured. Yeah, she looking cold. I don't mean it like
Isn't that the pink... I don't know. I have no idea.
So which one is the Pink Pantress? No, the Pink Pantress look like the one behind. It's like but that's not pink. It's purple, but you know... But then the ice cream looks like ice. You see, she has a little thing.
No, you guys are you guys are liars. That's all I'm gonna say with that. Right? Yeah, boy's a liar. Part 2.
I wonder if this is from Brandy and Monica. No, that was the boy's mind. Take a look inside your heart. Is there any room for me? I won't have to hold my breath till you get down on one knee. Oh, she's basically telling him, if you love me, you can marry me. Even if you go creeping and cheating on me. Yeah. With the ghost in the burial ground. Yeah. I don't know. People.
Yeah. All right. That's not on any chart. I'm kidding. Actually, I'm getting serious. It's not. This one is Cortezia. No. We're going to have to create a new chart for Cortezia, right?
My song's not even going to chart. I feel they're going to be like, what is that? Yeah.
We're gonna call it the bus boards, not the billboard.
Oh, listen, he just be dropping his lines on me today. The bus board. the bus more, not the
Oh, man. All right, Die For You, The Weeknd. The Weeknd's here again. All right. Well, not really, but you get what I'm saying. He's here on the list twice. So The Weeknd and Ariana Grande.
Okay, don't know this one, though.
I think this is a good collaboration, though, because Ariana's voice is great and Weeknd is totally cool as well.
Yeah. No, Cortenza don't do it. You look at these things and you wonder how they sing it, but then it goes well with their tune.
Well,
because for now, because I don't know the melody that goes along with it, it's proven difficult.
Which is why you generally hear and then you see after, all right? And then you know how it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Plays in your mind. So this is Die For You, The Weeknd and Ariana Grande.
Okay, boy. I can't promise I'm gonna die for you. You have to swim my way out. Oh, Jesus. Why says I always want to be killing Bill? But I think her song come out a bit too late. Then maybe needed her song for the movie Kill Bill.
Number 3. Listen.
What?
On one hand, someone will die for you. On the other hand, it's like Kill Bill.
Yeah.
There's a message here, isn't it?
I'm still a fan, even though no person. I'm still a fan, even though I'm salty. Hate to see you with some other broad, which is a bored. Know you happy. Hate to see you happy. If I'm not the one driving, I'm so mature. Well, if mature is hating to see somebody happy, that's great maturity right there.
You call the broad a bored?
I'm being nice.
Okay. No clue what that means. We're moving on.
Oh, the shade. The shade.
I don't know what that means.
Jamie Jesus is coming soon.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know what a broad means?
Not broad. You said bored. I said you called the broad a bored?
Exactly, but I just had to make it nice.
Oh, okay.
You feel it, right?
No, but hey. That's what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't feel it. Boy, but yeah. He's a rough boy.
I guess somebody wants you to kill Bill. Bill's not moving on, guys. Not unless you kill him.
Well, Bill has moved on, but she's salty. Maybe Scissor needs to be in the ocean, 97% of the water in the world. But then in one of her videos, she's actually sitting at the end of a, what do you call it, plank? Remember what the pirates had? Walk the plank.
I remember that much.
Yeah. So she's definitely salty like the water that's below her. Wow. Says I mean that in a good way. Last night, I don't know this.
Morgan's having a good time on this list, isn't he? This is his third time.
Yeah.
He's number 2 with this one.
Wow. So last night, I had a good sleep. That's not the man's song.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Never mind. Please don't. Guys.
Yeah. So last night, we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met. But baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. See you in my next video.
Well, guess what? Next video, we've got 1 minute to number 1. And we're gonna do that right now. Flowers by Miley Cyrus, Princess Smiley.
Do you know, right? This one I know. I actually thought this was a vintage song. Is it the vintage song that she sung over?
Well, you should tell me. You listen to it.
Something. Okay, I can buy myself flowers. Write my name in the sand.
It's 9:59.
Talk to myself for hours
and what we want to do right now.
Say things you don't understand.
All right, this is no collaboration. This is us saying thank you.
Yes.
For watching.
Yep, indeed.
That's what we're going to say, because after we've given you the top 10, we've ushered you right to the 10 o'clock hour, top of the 10 o'clock hour.
Top of the 10
And we're going to be out of here.
Yep.
So we want to say thank you for watching us today on GMSKN. Follow us on our social media platforms. We're on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Studio327 Inc. And we're also on Instagram at Good Morning SKN. So like, subscribe, follow, share. Let us know that you are there. Let us know that you're there. Yeah, I'm getting tongue-tied. www.studio327inc.com. That's our website. Visit it. Check us out. Let us know what you think.
Yep, and leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. And this is where we say thank you for watching. As always, continue to subscribe. We're still trying to get to that 1,000 mark. See you tomorrow on Thursday at 8 a.m. when you will start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SK. And remember to be content with what you have, and don't worry, be happy. Buy yourself some flowers, eat some ice cream. Yeah, see you later.